Morning, everybody. It's Monday, the 26th of October. We are Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour and I'm joined by Ian Cole and Steve O'Hare. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Everybody all right?
Yeah, good.
Excellent. How was your first weekend of being locked down, Ian?
I don't think it's any different. Well,
No, it's not really, is it?
We went outside yesterday and had a bit of lunch at a place called the Summer House.
Do you have to sit outside and eat, do you? Or you
we had the dog with us anyway. We'd been on a walk, but we sat outside, but inside was mobbed. And the guy that was serving us, Tracy, knows him quite well. She used to bake cakes down there. And I had a look through the door and there was all sorts of groups, if you like, sat together. And I said to him, they're not the same households, are they? And he said, no. He said basically they come in, we get them to sign a disclaimer and that's it. He said everybody's doing exactly the same thing.
Don't tell the name of the place, just keep it safe.
If it's a business meeting.
But it's a business meeting, you'll have 30 people.
Oh, okay. Everything's a business meeting from now and then, isn't it? Discussing innovative new business ideas.
Well, you could easily, set up a company, £1 in each, 30 pals.
I formed 6 new companies at the weekend. I've applied for bounce back loans on all of them, and I'm going to take all my mates out, all sort of 180 of them.
This is bizarre.
Okay, so how are we looking this morning on the open? There seems to be some decent moves in various asset classes. Looking at the indices, they look to be off to a bit of a stinker. Looks as though coronavirus restrictions and concerns across Europe and also the US is dampening sentiment. We've also had over the weekend the White House and the Democrats accusing each other of moving the goalposts when it comes to stimulus legislation. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying that the chamber must or may pass a pandemic relief plan this week, but that a deal with the White House remains elusive. So nothing going on there, it would seem. And I imagine that although there might be some chat and some commentary either way, the likelihood is that we're maybe not going to see anything until after the election with that.
No, I think they're talking about a smaller stimulus package, just getting something through, aren't they?
That may be the plan. It was more sort of targeted, wasn't it, to specific industries rather than a sort of a bazooka, if you like.
Yeah, I think the big bazooka's gone.
Until after the election?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So who wants to take over some charts and talk us through what we're seeing this morning?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind running through indices quickly.
Go on then.
Friday was a bit of a funny old close. We had, looking at the hourly chart here,
Steve, would you mind zooming in? That's it, cool.
This is on the DAX, and we had this, well, I thought it was a bit of an unusual rally quite close to the close.
Is that the Dow you've got rather than the DAX?
Sorry, I meant the Dow. Yeah, we had a sort of like a squeeze higher here. You can see the 8 o'clock close here. Which was a bit unusual. It was looking sort of pretty weak around about 5-6 o'clock UK time, and then we had this nice little squeeze, and we saw it on all of them, Nasdaq, S&Ps, and that sort of made me think, oh, here we go, it's a little bit of a carve up. There's sort of something good's going to come out of the weekend, but hey ho, it didn't. And this is the sort of like similar chart in DAX, and obviously we saw weekend weakness in DAX and a bigger collapse this morning. We haven't quite seen that on the US side of things, but FTSE seems to have sort of bucked the trend a little bit. It's not far off its sort of closing levels on Friday, so we've got a really strong bullish outside candle on the hourly chart that will close in about 9 minutes time, which is positive. The only thing I can really put it down to at the moment, maybe the stronger dollar. But overall, I'm, the equity indices taking a bit of a pounding across Europe, apart from the FTSE, maybe on the back of coronavirus concerns, sort of like stepping up. It's not looking very pretty. Can't see anything else UK based to sort of like promote the FTSE as a outperformer.
There is a bit of strength in sterling. Maybe that's helping some of the domestic stocks, but most of the big movers in the UK market are actually dollar based.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
dollars
Oh,
higher as well.
Yeah, a bit of sterling strength and dollar strength.
Yeah.
So that may be it. That's probably all it needs. There's no good news elsewhere. So yeah, but that might interesting.
Okay. Cool. So Ian, do you want to take a look at some of the FX stuff?
Yeah. I did have a half decent pattern on FTSE, but I can't find it anyway. The dollar index, we're still in this choppy move, aren't we? And it's just trying to catch the base of it, really. So we've got 5 down, but potential to extend this. This could end up being a 5th wave extension. So all of these little moves at the moment are where are you? Are just 3 wave patterns, aren't they? And it's trying to decipher whether or not that 3 wave pattern is finished. What I did think was quite interesting for a risk reward basis this morning. So basically, what I'm thinking is that this, right, go to this time frame. Stop waffling, Coleman. 92.10 is an 88.6% pullback level, which is a prime pullback level as far as the symmetrical patterns are concerned, because what we've talked about before is the fact that your risk factor is only there and your potential reward factor a lot of the times up here. So 92.08 I think is quite an important level. If you go to here, and again we're getting close to this 88.6, this is just a 30-minute chart, but we're getting very close to 88.6. So there's your risk factor. And if we look down here, we've got a perfect symmetrical pattern here. 224 is quite popular with symmetrical patterns. So 92.07, 92.09, going back to that chart, 92.09. So I wouldn't write the, well, I would look at writing the dollar off. I think that's on a risk reward basis, that is quite a decent trade setup, if you like. In fact, let's just see what it would be, because I might have that for my trade of the day. It's about, I've done that the wrong way around. I'll do it in a minute. So going back to that, I think that little move lower this morning is a bit of a spoof. And I think that what's going to happen is with these dips are just going to be bought. This is euro dollar, and we're going to head up to this sort of level. I can't see any reason. There's decent outside bars to the upside. The moves to the downside look very corrective. I think unless you break this support level here, which is 117.87, then it's still quite bullish in euro dollar, and I'd focus on these levels up here. Cable, we had a decent rejection or reversal off 131.75, which is a 61.8% pullback level. Normally, when we get reversals at 61.8, we will target 78.6, which will then make a Gartley pattern. So it'll look something like this. And again, losing all my fingers this morning. Something like that. So I think again dips will be bought into, and if we get that dollar weakness and that dollar index holds out. Dollar Swiss, again, it's going back to big picture. This is a completion of a decent pattern, 1, 2, 3, and it's just a case of where we stop here. I think that with the pushing down of the dollar, what we might see in this cross is something like this instead, where we will get this as a something like that eventually. So this being the left shoulder, but actually coming down and extending to this 261.8% extension level, which is around about 88.50. So it's not, I think with Swiss being bought into the same as yen being bought into, obviously with stock indices and a bit of safe haven, I think this has got the potential to go lower before we see a move to the upside. So, but I think that's going to be on Swiss weakness mainly, not on dollar weakness. Dollar yen, I like this at the moment. And again, if we can hold this 1 105.03 level, so it was support, it now becomes resistance. Then I see a move down to here, which is 103.42. Commodity currencies, not so much. I think I haven't really got anything on dollar CAD. We did have a decent sell-off. I think if we move to the upside, the rallies are going to be limited now. Aussie dollar, I think we've completed this, so it's quite complex. 3 down, 3 up, and then 5 down. We've got a very interesting level at 70.32 today, so it's very close to the previous swing low. If we get down to there again, your risk is pretty limited for a decent move to the upside. Euro sterling, I've got nothing on. Can't work it out for love nor money.
No, it's a difficult one that at the minute. I noticed there was a fairly chunky gap posted on that overnight. I don't know if that's to do with what's going on with Brexit, but
there's a gap in that dollar index as well. I'm wondering if that'll be so just go to this time frame here. You've got a decent gap open here, and gaps have a tendency to be closed, as we know. So
yeah, the one on euro sterling has been closed. So just pull up the chart there. That's the hourly chart. As you can see right there, there was that gap that was posted at the 10 o'clock open last night, and then pretty much filled fairly soon afterwards. Didn't break above the previous high that we posted on Friday, and have posted a fairly chunky reversal candle over the last hour. Maybe a sign that we're going to see a move down in the direction of that gap throughout today. I was looking at that as a potential trade of the day. Not sure risk reward was particularly great on that, however, if we're targeting a move down to those swing lows. So yeah, just about 2 to 1 if you're looking at that at the current moment. Let's move on to the gun to the head stuff from last week. Steve, you had a stop out in NASDAQ, so that was 2 in a row for you on that. And we had silver, which was stopped out as well. And Ian, I think you had a Bitcoin trade, which didn't really do much. Not really often you can say that with Bitcoin. You get a day where it doesn't go anywhere. I think you had 0.06 R offside on that one at the close.
Did I just go to NASDAQ? Or was I stopped out?
Got a chart up?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, maybe I have caught it wrong then.
Yeah, maybe you're just trying to fucking stitch me up a little bit here, mate.
I
was selling it at 11,678. The stop was at 11,748.
Right.
So the stop was up here.
Okay, my apologies then. Please, Steve, can you tell me what the close was at 9 o'clock?
Yeah,
on that,
I think the close at 9 o'clock, 11,693.
Oh, boom. Okay. 15 tick loss, so we can swallow that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well done, mate. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So yeah, I mean that's just a little bit of a blip off the top then after that very strong run that we've had over the last few sessions. So we can live with that, and we'll go again today. So already off to a fairly volatile start. Hopefully we can see some follow through on some of these moves throughout the day towards 9 o'clock when we close off these trades. Who's going to go first for us today?
I don't mind going first. I'm going to, it's just I've seen China 50 has had a bit of an aggressive sell-off, and it's forming a pennant or flag type formation. So it's just rallying back, and that's down 1.76% on the day. Obviously DAX took down 2.2, so that's sort of like leading the way lower. So yeah, I'm going to go sell China because I'm still bearish of indices. I'm going to sell it at 15,802. I'm going to have a really tight stop. I'm going to sort of like put a bit of risk into this. So 50,000, the stop level 852. So a really tight stop. And I'm going to go for a target of actually let's go for a more realistic target. The measured move target on this formation is 15,420, so I'm going to target 15,452 just in front of it.
7R.
It's a 7R risk reward, yeah.
Wow. Good luck. Ian, you got something ready, or do you want me to go? He's on mute. I'll go then because you can't. He's
No,
not got his microphone working. No, he said it now. I'm buying Aussie dollar.
It's flying as well.
It's just started picking up a little bit over the last hour or so. So reason being, I was looking at this last week, talking about the potential for an inverse head and shoulders for me. It's not a conventional one by any means, and although it did have a little bit of a poke above the neckline up here, it didn't hold. But I think if we can get back above that 71.58, then we can say that that's confirmed the inverse head and shoulders bottom, and we can start targeting a move to the upside. So it's currently at 71.30. I'm going to put a stop loss at 70.96, so 34 ticks. Targeting a move up to 72.50, which would be 3.53R from current levels. So expecting a bit of dollar weakness today and a bit of Aussie strength. Let's see how that goes.
Good luck.
Over to you, Ian.
I like that one. 93.02. I'm selling the dollar index. I've got a target at 92.10 with a stop at 93.16, giving me 6.57R.
Well, there's some chunky R on offer from your two trades today. Hopefully, both or one of them land at 9 o'clock tonight or beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay, so news-wise, just to sort of cover off what we've already spoken about. Obviously, the ongoing theme very much is focused around COVID-19, Brexit, and also US elections. We have a fairly stacked economic calendar this week, although not much today in terms of high impact data. Only the German IFO business climate number, which is due out at 1:30. It's expected to fall to 91.1 from 93.4. We've got a lot of earnings out from the US as well this week. A couple of big names today, F5 Networks and Hasbro. So they're not the biggest of names and the ones that everybody will be watching, but there will be a few more coming later on in the week. Is there anything else, gents, that you've seen that we need to be aware of this week or today?
Just China this morning, maybe a reason for the sell-off in their indices. They're sanctioning Boeing, Lockheed Martin over Taiwan arms sales. So again, we sort of like go back to trade wars. I'm sure we'll sort of like get a bit of a comeback from Trump, even amid his presidential attempt.
Yeah, is that what we're calling it? Did you see any of the interview that he had, the 60-minute interview with the lady in US TV?
No, I was busy watching Borat.
Oh, I watched that. I wasn't really. I didn't really like it. I didn't think it was that great.
It was a bit. Some of it is a bit silly. Some of it was just disgusting. Some of it was. Some of it was funny.
The Rudy Giuliani bit was funny, I thought, at the end, and then I won't give away the end, but how they linked it all up at the end, I thought was quite funny as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, let you watch that in your own time, I guess. Okay, unless there's anything else, gents, we'll wrap it up there, and we'll be.
S&B's Jordan is speaking today. I'll be a bit wary of that. He's always talking about Swiss strength, isn't he? So
yes.
If you're in Swiss today, I'd just be careful of that. It's 3:30 this afternoon.
Okay, thanks, Ian. Okay, gents, let's wrap it up there, and we'll be back tomorrow morning.
Cheers.
Yeah, enjoy. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Cheers.